Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF44 coming at you with another video. All right, so a lot of injuries going on around the NBA, unfortunately. The latest is Colin Sexton with a torn meniscus. I believe that was his left knee. So he's going to be out for an extended period of time. As it pertains to meniscus, with smaller players, you feel a little better about guys who are point guards and stuff like that, who are under 6'5" or whatever, because usually they heal better with those knee injuries. It's not as much weight on those knees. Guy like Colin Sexton is an athletic guy, not jumpy athletic, but he's speedy. He has good muscles, good ability, and so I think he'll bounce back from this pretty well with modern technology. I'm not worried at all about him as it pertains to this particular injury. Now, one injury could beget more injuries, and of course, once you start having the process of having the injuries, that's always going to be the case, where you wonder about it. But ultimately, I just think he bounced back just fine. I think the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to. Well, here's the deal. They only had him for a small portion of this season thus far. I mean, he started the season injured. And when he did come in, he kind of struggled. So it was one of those situations where they were kind of playing their best ball without him. Ricky Rubio is obviously on the tear of his career right now, coming off his career best game. I think it was 33 points, 10 assists at the Garden or something crazy like that. He just lit it up from behind the arc like crazy there. So I think if anybody stands to gain from this, is him and of course, Darius Garland, who are both fantastic point guard players who can lead that team without any concern. So if anything, Colin Sexton's role at this stage in the game with the Cleveland Cavaliers isn't as important as it was in the past. Cut and dry. I'm not going to say they don't need him, but they don't need him. It's one of those situations just cut and dry. It's one of those situations where, because he's not a facilitator making other guys better, he really is just a scorer for this team. And they would do better with Rubio on the floor. So I think this is going to be addition by subtraction in some ways. But ultimately, when it comes down to being a deeper team, a more deadly team, you want that young bull on the floor. You want him going at people. You want him closing for you. So that's going to be the thing. They're going to have him missing, and that's going to suck from that perspective. But as far as the functionality of their team, and whether or not they'll be able to weather the storm without him, no, this ain't that type of situation this year. It's just not. They will be good, good as they've been, really. As long as Evan Mobley and Allen are still going, and they got those 2 point guards already mentioned, Cleveland Cavaliers core is in place. I could argue this is more so devastating for the Cavaliers because they can't trade Colin Sexton, to be completely and utterly honest with you. Him going down does not make him a viable trade candidate for any type of deal they'd want to make right now. And that's along the lines of what I'd be wanting to do if I were the Cleveland Cavaliers at this point, because Colin Sexton really is a player who should have a much bigger role than what the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to have for him going forward. I look at Colin like a Dame type of player in terms of put my head down and go for scoring from the point guard position and kind of lead a team when he fully develops into who he's going to be. That's kind of how I look at him, a scorer. Score first, lead, head first, head down, just let's go get it type of point guard, and then he'll lock you up on the other end as well. So I'm a big fan of Colin Sexton. I don't want to make it sound like I don't think he's a good fit for any team or anything like that. I just look at him as a player who needs a facilitator to help him go. You know what I mean? He's not going to be the guy that sets up my offense, but for the weapon that he is, he's still extremely good, and I can rotate him between the 1 and the 2 just comfortably and have a hell of a scoring punch on my team. So there's a league full of teams that should want Colin Sexton, including the Cleveland Cavaliers. They don't have to let go of him. They have the facilitators that can complement him. It's just at this point he has to come off the bench in his role, and I think he's a bit better than that, if not a lot better than that. So yeah, him going down kind of throws a monkey wrench in that, because I was expecting them to look into maybe moving him at the deadline, to be honest. I really was, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with him. Hopefully he comes back healthier and better than ever. I got a lot of faith that Young Bull's going to come back and be just that. Before he went down with all these injuries, he was the kind of guy that you can pencil in for 25 points a night. He is a very consistent scorer when his conditioning is in place. So, I know what he is, know what he's going to be. And that's very valuable, a very valuable piece. So, yeah, man, get well soon, Young Bull. And everybody else too. There's a lot of injuries out there, man. There's a whole lot of them. COVID, also coming through, sweeping through the league. Philly is dealing with a lot of injuries. Lakers obviously dealing with a lot of injuries. A lot of teams. So, hopefully we can get our full spectrum of players back. Last year was a nightmare with injuries. Seems like this year's starting off the same way. So, yeah, that's what I got, man. My name is BDF44. Thank you all for watching. I'm out.